Thunder crashed, but inside Cadia's walls, the terror was deeper than the storm. Private Anya Vass pressed herself against the cold stone, breath ragged, fingers numb on her last gun. Every flash of purple lightning showed the enemy growing closer. "Stay with me," Sergeant Lauren barked. His words echoed over the chaos. A massive explosion rattled the ground. Stone shrieked as the fortress wall, that ancient shield, buckled at last. Chunks rained down, one crushing a sentry post where a guardsman had just lit a prayer candle. Anya couldn't hear her own scream. She saw daemons with claws like swords, warriors in black and gold armor swarming through the breach. Somewhere above, banners caught fire and tumbled, their cloth swirling in the supernatural wind. A group of children, huddled in an underground shelter, clung to their teacher. "Is the Emperor watching us?" whispered one, her eyes huge. The teacher held them close. "He is, and we must be brave for him." Sergeant Lauren grabbed a wounded soldier, dragging him behind a shattered barricade. Blood streaked the floor. "Medic! I need a medic here!" No answer came, only the shriek of warp-born creatures. On the far rampart, Commissar Rhine watched the horde spill through the gap. For the first time, he felt his hand shake as he raised his bolt pistol. He remembered his father's words, "On Cadia, we stand until we break." The ground trembled again. Another section of wall gave way. More daemons flooded in, fangs gleaming, eyes burning with hate. In the chaos, a single figure loomed behind the assault. Abaddon the Despoiler, blade raised, his armor reflecting the flames. He didn't need to shout. The hole in the wall was his voice, a voice promising extinction. All across the fortress, the same question burned in every soul. Had Cadia truly been unbreakable, or had they all believed a lie? Across the fortress, the same question burned in every soul. Had Cadia truly been unbreakable, or had they all believed a lie? And in the heart of that chaos, as the walls came down, no one saw what was crawling through the breach behind the first wave, something worse than any nightmare they had ever trained for. Cadia was more than just a fortress. It was a war holding back the tide of madness. For thousands of years, it had been the Imperium's shield, facing the eye of terror, where the boundaries between reality and nightmare blurred. In the city below, life was shaped by war. Children played with wooden lasguns, learning drills before they learned to read. Every home had emergency rations, every family a plan for invasion. Stories of ancient attacks echoed through bunkers at night. Some nights, old men would sit with young soldiers and share tales of past sieges, always ending with the same line, "Cadia stands." That phrase was more than a motto. It was a promise that no matter what happened, the people would not break. Yet pride seeps in quietly. As the Chaos Fleet gathered in the distance, the High Command assured everyone, "We've faced worse before." Colonel Steiger believed in the walls, in the old plans, in the strength of tradition. Commissar Rhine, however, felt a nagging doubt.
He watched the training, the rituals, the drills, and wondered if they were truly prepared for what was coming. Up in orbit, Imperial ships drifted, waiting for the signal. On the ground, the air was heavy with anticipation, a sense that history was waiting to judge every action, every mistake.
On the ground, the air was heavy with anticipation, a sense that history was waiting to judge every action, every mistake. Yet as night fell, a shadow moved among the ranks, an omen that the old promise, "Cadia stands," might finally be broken. The final hours before the assault stretched on forever. Inside the command bunker, Lord Tristellan Creed moved between flickering holomaps, barking orders, demanding updates. A young tech priest, Yakarek, tried to stabilize the communication grid, his hands trembling over the console. Sirens screamed, echoing through endless corridors. Soldiers crowded together, adjusting armor and sharing nervous jokes that died too soon. Above them, Adira, still just a cadet, joined her squad at the ramparts. She watched the sky, heart hammering, as 1,000 enemy ships appeared, tiny lights that grew larger by the minute. In the city, families hid in shelters. A mother squeezed her child's hand, whispering a prayer. "Will we see tomorrow?" the child asked. "I promise," she replied, though she wasn't sure she believed it herself. Back in the bunker, arguments erupted. "We need more time," shouted one officer. "There is no more time," said Creed. "We hold now, or Cadia falls." As warning lights flashed from yellow to red, the room seemed to shrink. The ground shivered, an omen or just nerves. One last desperate message arrived. "The Blackstone Fortress has joined the enemy." For a heartbeat, everyone stood silent, dreading what that would mean. The choices left were slipping away, and with them, hope. The choices left were slipping away, and with them, hope. Far above, the Blackstone Fortress turned in silence, its weapons quietly aligning with the world it once guarded. Would anyone realize the trap in time to stop what was coming? It happened so fast, few could believe it was real. The first shot from the Blackstone Fortress was not a warning, it was judgment. A lance of warp energy, brighter than 1,000 suns, ripped through the planetary shield. Alarms wailed, consoles sparked. Yarsak shouted, "The shield's collapsing!" Colonel Steiger tried to rally his command, barking orders that dissolved into static. Above ground, the defenders watched in horror as the shield, supposedly impenetrable, flickered, cracked, and vanished. Commissar Rhine fired his bolt pistol into the void as if he could shoot back the apocalypse. Anya clung to her lesgun, paralyzed as Chaos Marines surged into the breach, slaughtering anyone in their path. Sergeant Laurent made his last stand atop a pile of rubble, gun empty, swinging a broken sword. The true mistake was not trusting the wall or the technology. It was believing the old rules still mattered, that the enemy would fight fair, that there was always a second chance. As the fortress fell and the breach widened, everyone realized, too late, that Cadia's faith had become its doom. The greatest era was only just beginning to unfold. The sun rose over a graveyard. Smoke drifted between shattered towers. Laurent limped through the ruins, searching for survivors, calling out names with a voice barely above a whisper. Anya, covered in dust and blood, found herself guiding a handful of lost children through the broken streets. "Keep moving," she told them, though she had no idea where safety might be. In the command bunker, Creed stared at the flickering screen, now only static. He spoke to no one. "We lost the world, but we cannot lose the war." From the high ground, a handful of guardsmen watched as chaos banners rose over what remained of the fortress. In the shadows, the eye of terror pulsed, wider, brighter, hungrier. Across Cadia, those who survived felt a cold certainty settle in their bones. The breach was open. No wall could save them now. And somewhere in the dark, the real horror was just beginning. Across Cadia, those who survived felt a cold certainty settle in their bones. In the end, Cadia did not fall because its walls were weak or its people were cowards. Cadia fell because the greatest shield can become the greatest trap when pride blinds you to a changing enemy. The fatal error was trusting in old plans, ignoring the unexpected, and believing that legends never die. That single mistake let chaos through the gate and changed the galaxy forever. But what about you? If you were there, would you have seen the danger in time? Would you have abandoned the old fortress or doubled down and fought to the last? Who do you think made the fatal mistake? Creed, the High Command, or fate itself? What would you have done differently? Tell us your theory in the comments. If you want to join the last stand of Cadia and make sure the algorithm doesn't fall to chaos, enlist now. Hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell, or Abaddon will come for your notifications. The Emperor protects, but only those who comment below.